Hi, good morning. My name is Shannon Gorton, and I'm an energy mentor and essential emotions coach. Today is a rabbit day, 1st of February, and I am going to talk a little bit about Imbolc. Um, Typically, I enjoy celebrating 3 days or 72 hours of any given cycle, full moon, new moon, and our magical seasons. So this magical season starts the starting point of spring. Um, so we're just coming off of solstice, right? So the next cycle that's coming up is going to be lengthening of the days, right? So depending upon where you live, of course, and you may actually start to see signs of spring. So Imbolc is a cross quarter on the wheel of the year, and um, it, it simply brings the promise of spring. And this is from Creative Dynamic Year from Lisa Michaels, and it reads, tune in this year to the subtle shifts you notice in the air and the light around and after Imbolc. What does it signal internally for you? What things do you get a renewed urge to do? Imbolc is the time to call forth the idea seeds that have been germinating on the inner realm and that are now stirring with light. So we know that the cycles are ever evolving, and that during those long winter months, we tend to go within into our inner work, right? And release things, allowing for the seeds of the new to get planted and get cozy in that nurturing womb space. So a greater opportunity exists during Imbolc to ceremonially create a treasure map or a creation journal, a collage of pictures or ideas represents what you want to manifest in your life this year. Now, a lot of times people talk about January 1st as the beginning of the new year, and it is in that linear space of the calendar new year. However, for me, celebrating the return of the light and Imbolc is an important part of my journey, my spiritual journey, and that I like to bring into my day-to-day. It reads, you may want to engage in some other creative project to make use of Imbolc's powerful creative urges. So it can be anything that you create uh, that envisions that which you want, that which you desire to bring into form. Remember, even on a day-to-day, I have to remind myself the language that I'm using when I am setting my intentions, when I am making the declarations and rewriting the stories that come into my periphery as I journey from day to day. So you can also use Imbolc's energy of renewal for spring cleaning of both home and body to purify the darker energy of winter. And it doesn't mean that it's dark and like creepy. It just means the energy that no longer serves you, that can be released into the alchemical or the alchemizing of renewable energy. This point on the wheel represents a potent time for creativity, for invoking a muse, or starting a new project or initiation cycle. So I'll let you tune into that and just reflect on that and see what that brings up for you. For you to grab something to write with in your journal. You can get crayons, markers, colored pencils, watercolors, acrylics, canvas, however you'd like to explore creatively tuning into your energy as you go forth, setting your intentions and declaring that you desire to release and bring in. So Imbolc means in the belly, and it's associated with the lambs, or excuse me, the sheep's milk, the ewe's milk, the lactation that begins in order to nourish the baby lambs during this time of year. The Celtic fire goddess Bridget brings healing, purification, renewal, fertility, and creativity at Imbolc. If she interests you, take a few moments and do a search online about Bridget, and you can find out more information. She's a wonderful goddess to work with. Candlemas was given the name to Imbolc as the old ways gave away to the Christian tradition. The ceremonial candles for the year were customarily created at Imbolc. Choose one or two ideas to work with during the cycle and focus on those. And intentions are best if you have only 1 to 2. Having too many, so to speak, spreads the energy of the manifestation on the thin side. So focusing on 1 or 2 is a beautiful way to really hone in and focus on that which you desire creating for the cycle. So personal action for Imbolc, some suggestions. In ceremonial space, sacred space, invoke and connect with the goddess Bridget if she resonates with you. Ask her to assist you with inspiration for your creative pursuits. Ceremonially, set aside some time for the spring cleaning of your home. I like to bring in my essential oils, particularly lemon and wild orange, citrus bliss. These are great oils for lightening the mood, if you will, lightening the energy. And I also bring in some sound tools, the drum, the bells, the rattles, a tambourine. And if you really want to funk it up a little bit, you can bring the cowbell, which we've been known to do on an energetic cleansing, switching the wheel of the year. So you can ceremonially begin a cleanse for your body if it feels appropriate for you to do so. Again, to go in with some beautiful sea salt and a glass container. And I like to use balance for cleansing, like a scrub, if you will, a gentle scrub on my body with some lavender. It's delicious. And to just do some exfoliation or even a beautiful soothing bath, excuse me, with a drop of lavender and balance. Traditional crafts associated with this time of the year are creating your ceremonial candles for the year. If you like to make beeswax candles or soy candles, we're really mindful of the types of materials that are used in the candles that we burn for ceremony. Used to be a huge fan of very popular name brand candles, and I couldn't understand some of the things that were going on and we're noticing. So we made the switch to bring in more non-chemical and toxic loading items and products into our household. All kinds of chemicals that we're not really aware of until we stop and notice what we notice. And back to Imbolc, Candlemas. Some tips for personal action, right? So you've got candles, and future candles with energies with such things as abundance, fertility, inspiration, clear communication. You can sit down and just write down some feelings, some energy that resonates with you that you'd like to bring in for that beautiful season, like abundance, right? Bringing more gratitude and abundance and love and joy, ease and flow and fun, aligning clearly with my purpose. So you can list out a few things and take some of those things and knowing that you're going to be having the spiritual practice of turning the wheel and then working with the moon, new moon and the full moon. So you get yourself set up for the tools and resources for the journey this year. It's a great time to infuse the things that you'd like to think about coming up for the year. You can positively get yourself set up and prepared to have these tools ready to go for you. it's getting the systems, if you will, into place for your spiritual journey. For me, that includes knowing that I'm going to have 13 new moons, 13 full moons. There are going to be 8 magical celebrations for the seasons. So we've got the quarter, the quarters, the cross quarters. So there are 8. So it's a beautiful way to get myself ready for this new year and all the cycles that are going to be coming up this year. And take the time to journal any insights you receive about bringing your creations into form. Writing. So what we're doing with the writing is we're thinking, clearing small things out. We're writing down what's coming in for us. And amplifying this can even be reading it aloud, things that you're working on through the cycle. So you talk about any insights that come in for you. How can this really even more powerfully shift energy and assist with the amplification of manifesting or put you on a higher vibration? It magnetizes, is chasing that which you desire, is an energy that doesn't resonate with us. The higher the vibration, the more magnetic that becomes, and step into that story, that reality. All right, so the other thing I wanted to share is that I love to step out of nature, and I receive elemental guidance when I step out of nature. I take the time to tune into the elements. I do, and I daily practice. I tune into the elements and the directions and the corresponding energies that resonate with me while I am on my journey. And it's evolved over time. Bring in the archangels, for healing and compassion and joy and love and abundance. Tune into the energies of the elements. So take time to listen to the elements and their message about creativity for this year, and ask, even ask for some guidance, let that come into you, see what that feels like. Notice what you notice, write it down, whether it's symbols or it's images that come to mind, seeds that come through, and in the way of seeds and different ideas that could inspire you. Personally, like, what do you want to do this year? Excuse me, what do you want to do this year? Do you want to, desire, right? Because want is like the language again. Notice what you notice. Switch that from want to desire, because it's a more high vibe energy language. And then for business, think about what you want to bring in for your business. You just take it one step at a time. You want to bring in a different home? Do you want to bring in a different job, a career change, or do you want to start your own business? What does your 3 look like? It's your mind, body, right? And your spirit, your soul. So tune in and see what you'd like to focus on for this particular cycle. And you can have a list 3 pages long. Just reverse engineer, pick one thing at a time that really aligns with where you are in your journey that you would like to focus on, because that which we focus on expands. We shift from thinking about what we want to that which we desire, and then we do the work, we declutter, we focus on getting ourselves, in a space of fullness and flow and ease, noticing what we notice where we are in the journey, and paying more attention to ourselves first in that vessel. And this is a beautiful way to practice your spirituality, what that looks like for your self-care. It's an important part of the journey. So for business or professional, connect to the renewable energy that you have for your work. And I'm inspired at this time to think about a project that you may have put aside. Is now a good time? Is it time to just let that go and focus on something else that came in? tune into what needs to be released or freshened in your business for more creativity to flow. You know, I like to think of energy as water because water travels um, when it's free flowing. You know, it's um, it's a cleansing, right? It cleanses the rocks and the habitats for the fish and the shore, and so it's always moving. And when it's not moving, it kind of gets thick and clunky, and the energy is the same way. So we want to be sure that we're moving free flowing energy and being mindful of not to let things sit for too long. Enjoy, but keep moving. You know, remove the gunk and let it go, clear it out so the stream can flow. um, Spring clean your office, your business environment, your home office. Open for creative insights on how to take your business or your profession to the next level. There's like literally in physics, they have the potential. You're at the top of the hill, and there is unlimited and infinite potential. And taking that movement, taking that action is going to start, right? You can work up the momentum. And we want to not really flatten the curve. We want to make it more of a flow. There are going to be dips. That's just the ebb and flow. That's just the nature of the universe's ebb and flow. And we are going to have the highs and the lows and the ups and downs. But having the tools and the resources, you know, in our pocket, in our toolbox, in our backpack, whatever we're using for our expedition on this year's cycle, it empowers us to be resilient and compassionate and loving with ourselves and those around us. And that's huge. That's a really huge deal right now. It's a focus for everyone to just really tune into staying in your own lane and being compassionate and loving. So write down any ideas that you receive as far as the creative insights for your business and see what comes up for you. You can even, for personal or professional, ask Goddess Bridget for creative inspiration. You know, tune in, go outside. You know, this is a recording from the deck during a rainstorm, and I have it playing because it's really soothing to me. I love connecting with our area. It's so beautiful. So you can tune into Bridget and ask for the inspiration, and pausing and just doing a little mindful breathing. Notice what you notice. And then write down any insights or messages that you receive. To create a vision board, you know, for your business or for your personal. And again, receive guidance and take the time to listen to the elements and write down the messages that you receive. You know, if the breeze starts, you know, blowing on your face, you know, what does that bring up for you? What does that inspire you? Does it inspire you to take action in your business or your personal life? So, yeah, we have some elemental guidance in between, and you ask them, you know, you give thanks and you ask, and then you give thanks again. So it's usually like a threefold. And yeah, we've got some moon activity coming up that we'll be talking about again soon. And we also have some other information I want to share about the month of February. So I'm going to pop up for now and then pop on in a little bit and upload the next video for today's sharing of energy, if you will. All right, bye for now.